So when did you decide to become a writer and to really write about lesbian relationships?
I kind of fell into the lesbian part of it, to be honest with you. I wanted to write a play, and I did. And I hadn't written characters in many years. You know, as a single mom working retail for a lot of years. And I started writing a story online, and you know, they have like Wattpad and things like that you can write on. And a lot of my readers were like, you should write something, you know, lesbian, write something with. So I said, what would I want to write? And I just decided to write a story about a lesbian FBI agent who falls in love with a congressman's ex-wife. Nobody would see that coming. And as she's investigating these threatening letters, and write a political thriller, because that's what I love. So that's what I did. And people said, go ahead, go publish it. So I did. And it went to #1. I had in lesbian fiction on Amazon, and 5 in political thrillers on Amazon, and I had no expectation. And from there, it just blew up. And as I started getting more and more feedback from people, I realized, A, how much I loved writing it and seeing characters like me that I hadn't
and
had.
How needed it is.
Yeah, it is.
Because when I go to movies and I see lesbian or gays, whatever, they're always depicted in a certain way. They're sick,
true.
they get AIDS, there's always, it's tangled with problems. It's never just a regular person.
Yeah, I think that's true of a lot of marginalized groups. You know, the old tropes and the stereotypes are what we're familiar with, and we know that they'll play in media, and so they get played over and over and over. And breaking those is very important to me, you know, to be incidental about somebody's sexuality. So they happen to be a lesbian, or they happen to fall in love with a woman. And, you know, I've gotten some pushback from my own community about that. You're very kind of cavalier. I don't think that I'm cavalier about it, but there's a million models out there of people who struggle. And people need to be able to see themselves in a positive way. And moreover, people who aren't like us need to see us. You know, the most significant letter I ever got was from a father whose daughter was in her 30s and had gone through a divorce, had a little boy, and was in a lesbian relationship, and he was struggling. And he happened to see my first book, Intersection, in political thrillers, and read it not knowing it had a lesbian component. And the email was, you know, I read this, and she has a little boy who's 6, Dylan, and they're just like everybody else. It's just a regular family. And for me, that's the most, all the coming out, everything, that was the most profound letter I've gotten. Because what that was somebody who needed to see that it really is, his grandson's gonna be fine. He's in a loving family, he's with 2 people who care about each other, and it's not about all these tropes and these old stereotypes that people see.
Well, where do you see yourself going forward? What are your goals?
What do I want to do?
You're going to continue writing your stories, of course.
Absolutely.
But do you want to make a movie out of one of them?
I would love to make a movie or a television show.
Because you have such a strong voice and you're so good at developing characters. It would be wonderful if you could really carry the torch and really take that genre to the
I would
next
love
level.
to, and I would love to do, you know, a mainstream film project. And, you know, I actually, from a couple of lesbian more networks, we'll say, have had some people reach out in the past about things, and I don't want to do that, because not that I don't think it's needed, but it's there. And I really want to create things that go out to everybody, that bring people together. And so, yes, I would love to do that. It's a different exercise, you know, and so it's just like, you know, being on a talk show with someone, you know, you have to get out of your own way and learn how to do those new things and dive. And so that's, I think, coming in my future. But I still see myself writing books, because it is, it's not like work to me.
Oh, it's so therapeutic,
You know?
just to turn on the classical music and sit there and write and get into another world.
It's you get to take a journey, you
You
know?
do.
I get to travel the whole world without leaving my patio,
Yes, yes.
you know? And how many people can get to say that they do that?
Yes, and you get to create your own schedule. So where can people find you? How can they buy your books?
Oh, they can buy my books on Amazon and at Barnes & Noble, and all kinds of other bookstores. And they can find me at thebumblingsbard.com. That's my company, because I'm a bit bumbling at times. And I would hope I'm a bard. I don't know. Some people might disagree with that. But you can find all of it there. My blog is there, and learn about me and what I write.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah.